In this video, I want to take a couple of moments to answer the question, where do I go from here? We're at the end of the course and you now know the fundamentals of JavaScript, but there's still so much more left to learn. There are all sorts of awesome libraries, tools, and frameworks for JavaScript that make it easy to build very advanced web applications or that allow you to use JavaScript outside of the browser, like on a mobile phone or on the server. So the goal of this video is to make that process of figuring out where to go next a bit easier. If you Google around, you're going to find conflicting opinions about which library is best for what. It seems like everyone has a different opinion and everyone's opinions are right. It can be very hard to figure out with confidence what to do next, so we're going to go through a couple of paths. One for folks who want to continue building web applications, and one for folks who are interested in learning how we can use JavaScript elsewhere. Let's start off with the path I recommend if you're interested in continuing building web applications with JavaScript and you want to add more advanced features in. If you continue to add more advanced features to your application, it eventually makes sense to integrate a library or framework designed to make structuring big, complex apps easier. There are a few popular options these days you might have heard of. One is Angular, the other is React. My recommendation for advanced web applications is React. React is just a library for building out user interfaces, but it comes with a rich ecosystem of other libraries, allowing you to do essentially anything you could possibly want with a web app. The reactjs.org homepage talks a bit about what makes React special, and I just want to take a quick moment to scroll down and show you one very important feature of the language. So over here, what do we have? We have some code, and it looks like stuff we've seen before for the most part. I have a class that extends some other class. I have a method called render. What's interesting though is that what we return looks like HTML in our JavaScript file. This is known as JSX, and it is exclusive to React. JSX allows you to structure the markup dynamically using what looks like HTML. So I don't have to use a whole bunch of create element calls and manually change elements. I can simply type things right in. If I want to change this, I just add stuff in. I can add some exclamation marks on the end, and I see it gets rendered over there. I could add an H1 right here. And I can see that I am now seeing that over inside of the result. So working with React is going to allow us to create complex applications. And when it comes to learning React, there are a lot of options out there. There are a ton of great Udemy courses. I also happen to teach a React course called the Complete React Web Developer course. It is a comprehensive course like this one. It's about 36 hours total content, and it walks you through the process of creating advanced applications with features like data storage in a database and user authentication. The most advanced app we build in that class is called Expensify, and you can actually demo that right now at expensify.mead.io. The homepage for the application requires you to log in before you can do anything. Down below, we set up social login with Google, though you could use other platforms as well. Right here, I'm going to log into the application with my Google account. Once I'm in, I can see my private data. This data isn't just stored in local storage, it's stored in a real database, so I could log in on my computer and my phone and actually see the same data in both cases. Here we have awesome features like a calendar picker, so we can sort our expenses by date. Here I'm sorting by the last 30 days, but I could clear that to view all expenses. Down below, I can now view all of the expenses set up. We also have a page for the individual expenses where I can manage the expense description, the amount, the date that the expense came out of my account on, and I can add some notes for it. You can save and remove expenses, and this is the Expensify application. Once you're done, you can go ahead and log out, and now you're brought back to that home page. So if you're interested in creating advanced web applications and figuring out how to deploy those and set that up, I recommend taking a React course. Take my React course if you like my teaching style. If you're not too much into my teaching style, there are a lot of other good React courses out there as well. Now that's for the front end. If you want to explore JavaScript somewhere else in a different environment, I highly recommend checking out Node.js. Node.js is a JavaScript framework that allows us to use JavaScript as a server-side language. So we can do things with Node that we typically couldn't do in JavaScript. For example, I can read and write from files on the file system. I can use Node to create a web server to serve up one of our applications, like the ones we created in this course. I can use Node to build a complex HTTP server with our own endpoints that connects to a real database. So we can read and write from the database, whether it's a MySQL database, a MongoDB database, or any other database platform. So Node expands upon what JavaScript can typically do. It is a fantastic framework that allows you to build out backend applications that you would typically need something like Java or Python to do. Now, there are a lot of great resources out there for learning Node. I also teach Node in my complete Node.js developer course. This is a comprehensive 26-hour course that walks you through the process of creating real-world applications. You'll learn how to build a back-end server that sets up authentication with a real MongoDB database. You'll also learn how to create real-time applications like a real-time chat app. So if using JavaScript on the server sounds interesting to you, I think Node is your best choice. If you want to continue making advanced web applications, I say go with React. I just wanted to pop in one last time and say thanks again for taking the class. Your support really does mean a lot. I had a ton of fun making this one, and I hope you enjoyed taking it, and I also hope you learned a lot. If you'd consider leaving a review, that would be much appreciated. You can do so from the course dashboard. I'm Andrew Mead. That is it for me. I hope to see you in another class sometime soon.